And this broadcast brought to you by 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your automotive stuff done at 106th Street Tire and Wheel, located in Corona, New York, 11368. We are live here with 4 out of the 5 people because we're missing Steele because Steele doesn't know what time 7 o'clock is. Welcome, fellas, to another week of Sports Talk with Boogie, Chet, and Billy Punch. How's everybody doing tonight?
What's going on, Ocho Tito?
Cheers, guys.
Wait a second. Oh, there he is. Just the buzzer beater. The buzzer beater. Steele with the buzzer beater.
Yo, Lou.
Yes.
Isn't him showing up on time just as rare as this?
Let's see what.
Who's this guy right here?
I have no idea.
It looks like Steele.
It looks a little like Steele, but Steele doesn't shoot 300.
According to the video research, he had 9 in a row at this time, and this is shot number 10.
Nice shot. Give me that.
Good shot, Steele. Good shot.
Good shot. That's flush.
Okay.
All right, fast forward a little bit. Let's get to this because he takes about a minute and a half each shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not my fault.
All right.
It does take a lot of preparation. You know, he has to flex his muscles so that everybody can see before he throws a bowling ball. So that right there tells you why he doesn't have a lot of 300s. Here we are going for shot number 11.
And all right, so this shot here. Oh yeah, I missed by about a board and a half.
How's this side? So
how's the left?
It's definitely China on the left.
Definitely. He missed that by a board and a half.
What's up, Bill?
Was right.
First of all,
Arrows.
sounds like a little bit of hate on this phone.
Okay. 1 hour later, he's going for his 12th shot.
I actually know I saw his last shot's actually pretty good. His last shot's good.
His last shot was inside.
No. Last shot was
He missed inside again.
Yeah, he flushed it.
I flushed that. What are you talking about?
Like I said,
You guys want to shit on people for shooting 300s? None of you motherfuckers are on the tour. There's a reason why we're all bowling on house shots.
So, Mr. Steele, how many is that for you, by the way?
That's number 2.
We'll be doing the show without Lou today, apparently, because he wants to cry about 300.
Let's go, pal. By the way, what did you keep series? That's the main question.
What's up, Bill?
740.
All right, let's just shot 700 with it. That's
okay.
Good. All right, what's up, Bill?
We better
have you, sir.
So
cheers
what's
to your
going on?
300, my brother.
Thank you.
Cheers to Steele shooting 300. All right, guys, let's get right into it. We have a lot to talk about. Brian Flores is suing the NFL and 3 other teams, I should say, for him not getting a head coaching job. Let's talk about this real quick. So, especially with the Giants, I want to talk about. How do you guys feel about this? Brian Flores suing the Giants for, not getting hired. Thoughts and opinions on this, guys?
Well, I had an opinion on it, and Billy did some research. And go ahead, Billy. Just tell everybody.
I mean, let's call it what it is. He's suing the NFL and he's accusing them of racism. I can't speak to the Denver Broncos hiring process. I can't speak to what went on in Miami. What I can speak to is what we know went on with the New York Giants. The New York Giants interviewed 6 head coaching candidates. 3 of them were African American, including Brian Flores. Before Brian Flores, Patrick Graham, the Giants' current defensive coordinator, who they're hoping to keep, was the first person interviewed for the head coaching vacancy. Leslie Frazier was interviewed twice by the New York Giants. The New York Giants are also looking at Pep Hamilton to be their offensive coordinator right now, which would give them 2 coordinators of African-American descent, with the only team in the NFL like that. Jerry Reese, an African-American male, worked 23 years in the Giants front office, including his time as general manager. Speaking on the Giants, it is very far off base. This Bill Belichick text message, Bill Belichick made a mistake apparently and texted the wrong Brian. And all it says is, I think they like Brian Dable for the job. Sorry.
Right. He got the wrong. Listen, got the wrong. Brian's confused. He didn't say like.
Yes.
Hey.
If there's a smoking gun there, I don't know where it is.
Can you stop yelling, Billy? Because Ian can't hear. Thank you.
I think the main problem with Brian Flores is that a lot of the reports that came out of Miami that I know the Giants were one of the teams that checked on didn't come out very favorable of him and his communication and his getting along with people and the fact that he went through 4 offensive coordinators in 3 years. I think a lot of things just worked against him.
Yes.
And that might be why he doesn't have a job yet. And he's a good coach. He's a very good coach.
Yeah. But we also just hired the assistant general manager of the Buffalo Bills, who, of course, Brian Daboll is going to be one of the main candidates for it because he came from the same organization as him.
I'm not against the hire. The hire personally, I'm not against the hire. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, apparently, according to him, because like I said, I don't know facts. All I know is what I'm reading here. And according to him, he's been going through a lot of things from left field and right field. As you saw, he has some crazy accusations about Ross on the Dolphins, saying that his first year he was offering him $100,000 per loss to tank for a high draft pick, and also the next year he wanted him to tamper with Tom Brady to get him on the Dolphins. So
I mean, absolutely.
I mean, that's horrendous accusation. If that's true,
in my opinion, it's simple as this: Flores just committed coaching suicide. If I'm, I'm not hiring for anything.
So if you think, I'm sorry, if that's the case, don't you think it's some type of value to what he's saying? Why would he want to end his coaching career off of something that is just hearsay?
Because he has sour grapes.
Nobody gives up.
Like in Miami. It's like
he shouldn't have sour grapes if there's other jobs out there.
I mean, the Miami situation, if that is true, and it seems he has a lot more evidence to that than he did to anything else, then Miami deserves whatever punishment the NFL levies on them. As far as the Broncos, the worst kept secret in the NFL is that the Denver Broncos have wanted Aaron Rodgers since before last season ever started.
Absolutely.
What better way to try to facilitate getting Aaron Rodgers to Denver than to hire Nathaniel Hackett?
Right, because if you look at the NFL, there's only right now one black head coach, and that's Mike Tomlin, and he's been here forever with Pittsburgh.
But, Chris, you're supposed to be here, but you're too busy, bro.
Just to play devil's advocate, okay? Yeah. In my opinion, what I think he is trying to say is Miami is the seed, and they planted a seed to try to discredit him across the plane. So I think the teams that he put in his little lawsuit are the teams that actually, penciled him in for a second just to say, hey, I penciled him in. I don't think he has any legitimate things against the Giants. I don't think he has anything legitimate against the Denver Broncos. I think his lawsuit is based off of Miami, and everything else is just a branch.
I get what you're saying.
He's trying to do the Rooney Rule. He's trying to sit there and hash the Rooney Rule.
I get what you're saying, but in the Giants,
American candidate,
in the Giants situation, they had already met that if that's all they were trying to do.
Yeah.
So the Giants didn't have to do that. This is a man that every report out there since the day he got fired was that he wanted the Giant job. He wanted to come back home to New York and coach the Giants. And now 2 days after he doesn't get the job, the Giants are racist.
No,
I don't
believe it either.
That part of my buying.
We still can't ignore the fact that there's only one black head coach.
No, 100% not. And David Culley, I said it on this show multiple times, and I'll say it again. David Culley got screwed in Houston and was put in a position that he was never going to be successful in.
Right.
And I think that's the kind of the environment that Flores is trying to say he had with the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff that Ross was putting them on.
I agree with you, and that very well could be the case. But that doesn't explain why he went through 4 offensive coordinators in 3 years. That doesn't explain why he went into Stephen Ross's office. Brian Flores got fired because Brian Flores lost a pissing contest with Stephen Ross over the GM because he walked into the owner's office and said, I want him out. It's either him or me. And Stephen Ross said, guess what? It's you.
Bye.
Okay, so he went through a very 4 offensive coordinators, 3 or 4?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So obviously he's a head coach. He's in charge. If he doesn't like what he's seen from his coordinator, he should get rid of him. He shouldn't keep him just because. You know what I mean? I don't understand. I don't see the problem with that.
But I'm saying before them, he's got to be a part of the problem when you go through 4 and you still can't get the hire right.
Not when you're getting better. If you were getting worse,
and that's the thing, because since 2003, the Dolphins haven't had a winning record, and he had a winning record 2 years in a row. Right, so then you get fired after that, especially after the stuff that
performance on the field. Performance on the field, he deserves to still be there. I am 100% with you.
Yes, I agree with that.
I don't doubt performance on the field, but there seemed to be a lot more going on there, and there's rumors out, and I don't know if they're true, that he turned around and said Tua should be tested for
steroids.
Yeah. That's how you talk about your quarterback. I mean, come on.
Yeah, listen, when you're trying to deflate, I'm sorry, Lou.
No, go ahead. I'll say it after.
When you're trying to defame somebody, you're going to say things. Obviously, this is not reports that came out during the season. This is stuff that came out after the fact. If all these things are valuable, this is stuff that's been coming out as he was like, oh, this is what's going on. This is why we need to get rid of him. You get rid of him, and everybody's up in arms like, okay, why is this guy going? Now, all of a sudden, all these different things come out. Oh, he's this, he's that, he's this. He was great when he was coaching. No one said a word.
No, exactly. I agree, but I feel also that a lot of them are coming out because of the different organizations that reached out to the Dolphins to get the background on. Because I know the Giants did. The Giants reached out to say, hey, Joe Shane had contacts there. They wanted to know what happened. And why the situation unfolded the way it did. So you know what? When they start reaching for stuff like that and organizations start reaching out, unfortunately, part of life, especially these days, is those media leaks that come from inside, whether it came from inside Miami or inside one of the other organizations that went to get this information on him.
Hey, listen, Gruden went for years on the Raiders, and nobody said anything about his racist comments for years. We don't, we think we know what's going on inside.
We don't.
We don't know anything. Yeah. We don't know anything. We only know what they allow us to know. So there could have been a lot more going on with Brian Flores than we know. My biggest thing with Brian Flores is that there's still head coaching jobs available out there. I was going to say that. Yeah. So if there's still head coaching jobs out there, why are we making lawsuits and accusations toward these teams before all the positions are filled up?
And that's why Steele said what he said. There has to be a reason why he's doing this.
Right. So he either knows for a fact that he's not getting a head coaching job and he's saying, fuck it, or like he just like it's either head coaching job or bust. Right? Like
that job, it's bust.
And speaking of the head coaching job still out there, I saw another report today that Byron Leftwich doesn't want to take the Jaguars job because he doesn't like the general manager.
Yep.
Well, the Jaguars are in a lot of trouble already because I don't know if you guys saw the report a few days ago. They still don't have a head coach, and that's really like crazy.
It's because nobody wants to work with Trent Baalke. They actually brought Rick Spielman in today and are trying to hire Rick Spielman in a position in the organization, which I think they're going to do with that is they're going to end up pushing Baalke out after that because they're starting.
But why wait so long if that's affecting them that bad?
Well, it just happened over the last couple of days because they got turned down by their second candidate.
Dallas does suck.
Everybody thought the Byron Leftwich thing was done and signed and delivered.
Yeah.
Here's another example that people are going after with Dan Quinn. Here's a perfect example. He saw everything that's going. He goes, "Screw it, I'm going to go back to Dallas, be a defensive coordinator."
Well, Dan Quinn, apparently what it was Dan Quinn wanted the Broncos job.
Yeah, that was one on his list. Yeah,
and once the Broncos job filled, he had no interest in.
I mean, I know the Giants were very interested in him too. I know
the Giant report is he said he left there feeling that it was down to Dable or Flores.
I'm not privileged on certain information, but just answer me this: has there ever been an NFL coach that had gotten fired off of creating a winning season, from losing to winning? Has anyone ever lost their job?
I'd have to think about that. It's probably gonna be somebody.
It's definitely happened off the top of my head.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like,
I give you one. Marty Schottenheimer had one like that.
I'm not talking about it's up and down, and then they fired him because he didn't create another playoff position or something like that. I'm talking about this guy. That program was in the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Marty Schottenheimer with the Browns.
He got the program out of the toilet, and then lost his job. I mean, unless you're even I know there's schmucks at everything, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of NFL coach right now.
I'll give you another one too. George Seifert with the 49ers.
Okay.
He was forced out when he took after Walsh.
How many years was he there?
He was there, after Walsh? I think he was there 5 or 6 years. They had winning records every
Exactly
year.
my point. There was
winning
nobody that
records
was. He's only been there 3 years. How do you fire a coach after 3 years of success?
Which is why there had to be more than just that for Brian Flores to get let go. And now there be this whole big issue. Because listen, for all we know, these organizations don't want to play with Brian Flores because of what the Miami Dolphins are telling people of what happened with him. We don't know, and we're not going to know. And eventually we will find out. But as of right now, for Brian Flores to have a lawsuit against these teams,
I'm hearing the Broncos showed up late. They showed up an hour late to that interview. And completely was disinterested in hiring him. So there's a lot of things going. There's a lot of reports. So we won't.
The Broncos are looking to sell. The Broncos are looking to sell too.
Yeah, we won't. Solidify it.
Exactly. There's a lot of hearsay, and there's going to be a lot more. There's a lot. But one thing I can say is how closely I was watching the Giants coaching search. I know the Giant. There's no merit to.
Listen, the Giants did the right thing. They hired the GM first. Right, and then he hired who he wanted. You can't make somebody hire you. He got hired, and he came in with a plan on who he was hiring.
Exactly.
No matter who they interviewed, it doesn't matter. He had who he wanted.
And I have no problem with him either. You know what I'm saying?
You can't have a problem.
The only thing I'm just tired of the Giants doing is taking these first year head coaches. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we gotta get some type of experience. I mean, we might get lucky. You know what I'm saying? This guy might be good.
But the good thing about Duval, listen, he's played with Saban, he's played with Belichick. That
doesn't always translate.
No, it doesn't. Look at Joe Judge. Look at Joe Judge. I get
That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
There's plenty of guys. Joe Judge, Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel.
Tons. But there's something different about Duval that I actually like.
Because you both have ball heads?
Yeah, we're both ball with beards. So we fit right in. And I don't know if you watched the press conference. He fit in very well with the New York media. He was making jokes. He was embracing the moment. He
said all the right things.
He said all the right things, and he's ready to play.
So at least we know when the Giants lose, we'll be laughing in the post-game interviews, right? That's basically what that's accredited to.
Listen, as long as the guy doesn't run the ball on 3rd and 9 on their own 5, I'll be okay with that.
Low standards.
Let me ask y'all a question. What new head coach has come in and had a terrible opening media day?
Exactly.
Adam Gase. I was just going to say.
Hold on.
Adam Gase cracked out that entire press conference.
That was my point. The Jets hired a losing, fired coach, and he came in and he was lost from the opening buzzer. Everybody else
lost his team.
Everybody else pretty much has a good speech. Yep. I want to see the man put the work in. Show me the work.
No, and he said all the right things.
Is Lolly talking trash to me?
And everything
Shots
was humble.
fired at Boogie.
Boogie decided to do the show.
Wow. So you haven't been around, Boog.
I do every Tuesday show. It's just that I don't do the weekend shows.
Friday, yeah.
I don't do the weekend shows. That's for the professionals.
You know, but Boogie, getting back to what you're saying, the first year head coach is frustrating. But what you got to remember too is majority of the time your choices are between first year coaches or unsuccessful retreads.
Yeah.
There's not a Bill Belichick usually waiting around.
Yeah, but think about who was out there this year in the retreads that would hire as a coach. Oh yeah, it was really Quinn, Flores. I think it was really anybody else.
Jim Harbaugh, apparently.
All right, listen.
If I was Brian Flores and this guy got hired over me, then I would definitely sue.
Yeah.
All right, I would definitely be suing 100%.
All right, I don't want to waste a half an hour on this guy. Let's get to the actual playoff things that happened We want to start with. You want to start with the Bengals? Or you want to start with the Rams?
I mean, if you were on the show on Sunday, you would have been there to talk about it with us.
I
But we
mean,
can go over the show again.
I think what we should do is start with the good news of the NFL today, and that was the retirement of the greatest of all time,
Tom Brady.
Thomas Patrick Brady.
The greatest of all time officially retires from the game. Thanks, all the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization doesn't
mention the Patriots.
Doesn't mention the Patriots at all for the 20 years he's been with. But Tom Brady.
How about turn your mic on? How about
you muted yourself again like you did the other day?
Oh my God! Get him out of here, bro.
That means funny when I saw that.
The crazy thing about Tom Brady, they were wondering how this leak got out and everything.
Guy muted himself.
They actually said that.
You hear me?
Yes.
Be quiet. Be quiet. Bill is talking. Be quiet.
A rumor going around about how the Brady retirement leaked originally was that it was filmed for the final episode of Man in the Arena, and somebody at ESPN was editing it and leaked it to Schechter.
Oh,
that would be absolutely sick if that really was what happened.
I'm not surprised if that happened.
That guy has connections.
Listen, ESPN is an indie company. Okay, they're new. They've only been around a few years.
Wow.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Let's just
shout
out the New York media
for having connections like that. Word.
For stabbing Tom Brady on his retirement, saying, "Yo, I can't remember the exact."
No, they should have had Eli leak the information.
That would have been awesome.
What?
On a man, one better. Should have been
special Manning test.
Peyton should have done it.
Yo, know what really disgusted me today though? People actually trying to find a way to discredit this man. Like
it's always gonna happen. It's always gonna happen.
Come on, man. I mean, just stop it.
Listen,
just stop
the guy was 199 round pick. He was Drew Bledsoe, who was one of the top quarterbacks at the time. He got hurt. He took over a position and nobody gave him credit for.
Steele.
And he became the GOAT.
You know what it is? You know what it was really with Tom Brady? He was the right guy in the right system. The same thing I said about Mac Jones now, replacing him in New England. The right guy in the right system.
For sure.
And that's what we hope to see in New York with Zach Wilson and Daniel Jones. These coaches build
Zach Wilson, so forget about
the right system for the guy. And
Fool got tired. He agrees with me.
Coming from a Falcons fan, nothing would make me have the Eli leak. That would have been awesome. I know. That would have been awesome.
Yep.
But even if Zach Wilson is halfway decent,
wait, Pool guy, who are you, Pool guy?
In the AFC right now.
Oh, it's gonna be a dogfight in the AFC for years. Absolutely.
He doesn't stand a chance, bro.
And we were talking about this, Boogie, and I'm glad you're here now, Boogie, too. That the other day, Chet was complaining about how bad Patrick Mahomes is and how Josh Allen is better than him. But Josh Allen has yet to beat Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs the last 2 years. So until Josh Allen beats Patrick Mahomes, it's hard for me to say that Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes.
Nah, I hear you. But as we can see, Mahomes definitely has his issues as well. You know what I'm saying? Like let's look at the end of this game here. You know what I'm saying?
Show Boogie all day long.
This was pretty.
Show everything.
Oh, this thing didn't go to the beginning, did it?
Hey.
Oh, here we go.
He's got protection. Too much time. You can't do that. All the way back to the 21.
Look at this. Like, make a decision, bro. Make a decision. This is bad. I don't expect this kind of play from him, bro.
Josh Allen never does. They probably runs it for the touchdown.
Forced it, and now you got to make a.
No, you got to do something there.
From 44 yards.
You're lucky you probably have to press the best kickers in the game on your team.
Can he tie it in regulation? And yes, he can.
But to me, this is what lost them the game.
With a touchdown pass to Taylor. And now they go deep down the field. And it is intercepted.
This was a lucky interception. I'm not gonna lie, but it was double coverage as it was.
Why you're throwing a double coverage?
Yeah, it was double coverage.
This is my question.
They take over the Bengals with the third straight game in the playoffs where they come up with a crucial pick. Since halftime, not a catch. First down throw. And that's Higgins.
Yeah, he gets down there. He gets down there. They kick a field goal. Game's over.
To the Super Bowl.
If you listen to
Over.
Pat, if you listen to Pat Mahomes' presser, he admitted that he was looking for the home run. Next year, he's going to get back to the Patrick Mahomes that's hitting open, because it's a damn shame that you have one of the best tight ends in the world who's wide open in the middle of the field and you're throwing the ball into double coverage.
That's what I'm saying. He got greedy. He got greedy.
He got greedy, and he know he made mistakes.
Yeah,
Everybody's made that mistake, and I'll tell you right now, as long as he promised to leave his idiot brother and his fiance in Kansas City, I would take him as the New York Giants quarterback tomorrow.
Any
no
day of the
questions
week.
asked.
Right. Come on.
Anybody would. Anybody.
But that's not
That's
what
what I
lost
mean.
them the game.
So slamming, I mean, they lost the game. They're going to lose more games. Tom Brady lost games. Tom Brady lost 2 Super Bowls to the Giants. Peyton Manning lost countless playoff games.
Right.
It happens.
That's what happens.
The
Peyton
man
Manning has the most losses in playoff history.
And any one of us would take those guys on our team any day.
21-3. You go against your coach's decision at the half and not score a touchdown. At that point, it got into his head. And
That's what lost them the game. They should have kicked the field goal. That's exactly what lost.
We wanted the field goal kicked.
Hold on, Chet. All right, he made a mistake, but they have been there for the last 4 years. How can you discredit that?
Exactly. And
Right,
again,
which is why
What have
Andy
you done
Reid's
for
not
me
going
lately?
anywhere.
What have you done for me lately? That's what this game is.
Bill,
what about the
usually I agree with you, Bill.
I'm gonna have to shut Bill's mic off because
Yeah.
Mahomes is 4 years into the NFL and he's made 4 AFC championships.
Yeah, he's not done. He just
Patrick
getting started.
Mahomes is not done by a long shot.
Why
He
you
just getting started, man.
You put
And-
Patrick Mahomes on any team in the NFL, he brings that team to the playoffs.
And
I don't
again,
care. Put him on the Jacksonville Jaguars, he brings that team to the
like
playoffs.
I said to you guys Sunday, and I'll say it again now. Nobody is giving the Bengals defense enough credit
Exactly.
for the second half of that game.
Yeah.
Let's think about
They
this.
went in there
Eli
and made
Apple almost won that game for them.
Exactly.
That would have pissed off
Former
They went in
Giant.
there and
Of
made
course
the
he's just getting
adjustments.
started. Of
They
course
made
There
the
you go,
adjustments
Chico.
to
Thank
win
you.
the
Just
game.
getting started, bro.
Yeah, Bill, what you saying?
Sorry, go ahead, Bill. What?
I said the Bengals made the adjustments to win the
100%,
game.
because they
in the
looked
second
awful
half.
that first half. They
Yep.
looked absolutely awful that first half. And then they came in, guns blazing, only allowed 3 points. Patrick Mahomes' quarterback rating that first quarter was 149. His quarterback rating the second half, 0.
0.
That's bad.
0.
That's an understatement, but that's bad.
Yeah, listen, he definitely laid an egg, bro.
Yep.
He did. No, he did. And listen,
And it
Tyreek
happened.
Hill had no yards. That whole second half had 0 yards. Your best receiver had 0 yards. You're not going to win.
I was so
And then
shocked.
it was crazy. Crazy.
I was so shocked.
There were 4 teams playing Sunday.
You want to know
One-
what I wasn't shocked
One
about? Go
team
ahead, Bill.
made good decisions when it counted, and that was the
Right.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
Agreed. What are you saying, Bug?
I say, you know what game that I wasn't shocked about that I actually picked correctly? This one.
The Lambs.
You mean the Rams, who I said are
Rams?
going to the Super Bowl
Yeah, show
and
me
winning the
the
Super Bowl at the start?
That's caught. Still rumbling.
I still don't get how
Down to
nobody
12.
covers this guy.
And 30 seconds to come off
Look,
the
they
clock.
should have won the game with the interceptions there.
Stafford
That's the whole game changed right there.
Is sacked. They're running 4 cross zone. 4 cross right here. Underneath it's Cup. Fred. He's got it.
Yay!
Rams are on top.
49ers still got a chance. But Jimmy Garoppolo said,
Garoppolo
"No,
under pressure.
I'm going to flip it away."
Got there
Literally.
in the air, intercepted by the Rams, and they may ride to the Super Bowl on that.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy,
Jimmy
listen,
G.
real quick, let me answer your Pool's question. Love the fact OBJ's in the Super Bowl. I have no hate for him whatsoever.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Odell
Women-
Beckham grew up and became the player the Giants drafted, and
Agreed.
deserves to be where he would be. And
He
the Rams wouldn't be where they
has
are
his role. He
without
knows his
Odell Beckham.
role. He knows he's not better than Cooper Kupp, and he's going to a Super Bowl. I'm very
But
happy for
I
him.
have a question for you guys. What pass was worse, Garoppolo's pass or this pass?
I don't know. That's
Oh, no.
Listen, listen, I'm gonna talk to Bill because you can't talk to Chet. we talked about this earlier in the playoffs, right? We said it's going to be good quarterback play is going to win the game, right?
Mhm.
And if you're not a good quarterback, you can't win the game. 49ers don't have a good quarterback.
Sorry, Chico. I know you're a 49ers fan.
And no, you're 100% right. But the main thing that failed the 49ers throughout that game was their offensive line.
Yes.
Their offensive line did him no
He was
favors. I
rushed
mean,
like crazy.
he went out there. He threw for 250 yards. He had somebody in his face every play. And that 49er defense that won them 2 games failed them when they needed it the most.
That interception cost them.
Bill thinks
Letting Cooper Kupp
letting
go down the field again like he did the week before.
Yo,
That cost him.
what disease does Cooper Kupp have that no one wants to guard him? Like week after week after week. Like what is happening? Like this is the guy to burn you. Why doesn't the defense say, you know what? Let me defend this guy. Let OBJ defeat me.
We have
Boogie, here's the difference between
like Debo
this week and last week. Last week, you're 100% dead on. This week, you had Odell and Kupp and Sample, the backup tight end.
But let Odell defeat you. Odell has never won a game single-handedly by himself. Let him do it. You know what I'm saying? You know Cooper Kupp can take over. You know this.
I think it was a pick. I think by that point in the game, the terrible way the 49ers secondary played that game, that it was pick your poison. I think any one of the 3 of them would have done the same thing because they did it all game.
But we also have to give. Listen, Cooper Kupp was always a danger. And now that he has Matt Stafford, it's even worse.
And this proves that Matt Stafford was definitely wasting away in Detroit.
100%.
First year you go to the Super Bowl?
Interception at 17-3, that game's over. The Rams never win. Period.
First year. And like I said, shout out.
I'll say, if Jalen Ramsey catches that ball, it doesn't go. If Jalen Ramsey catches the interception, it doesn't go to the last drive.
Yeah.
Hold on. Chet, I'm sorry, I didn't hear. What'd you say?
Chet is a hater on Matt Stafford and the Rams.
I want to hear that. What did you say?
I said when it was 17-3 and Stafford threw that lame dunk down the field and the San Francisco secondary guy did intercept it, that changed the whole game. That changed the whole game right there. He got 8 minutes left with a 2-touchdown lead in the ball. Rams never win that game.
If my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. I mean.
and the hood, we used to say that if with a split, we'd be all messed up. What are you talking about?
Listen, here's the thing, though. Let me just say one thing.
Can we shout out Deebo Samuels though? Because the guy does it all.
That guy
does it all. He runs it. He catches it. He's just. I mean, we give credit to Cooper Kupp.
Here's a good question I got for you guys.
Gotta give credit to this dude.
Here's a good question I got for you guys. Now we got through the season. Who do you think is NFL MVP?
It's still Aaron Rodgers.
It's still Aaron Rodgers.
I'm giving it to Tom Brady. I'm giving it to Tom Brady.
But I'm telling. No, I'm sorry. To me, Tom Brady finishes in 4th because I think Cooper Kupp and Deebo Samuel.
I hate the Rams. I think Cooper Kupp should be MVP this year.
But you know how you know they're going to give it to a quarterback.
He won the triple crown in receiving this year.
Chase can't guard everybody.
Okay.
Chase can't guard everybody.
That's very hard to do these days.
No, he's talking about Jamar Chase, Boogie.
Okay. I would give it to Kupp more than Rodgers.
Nah.
Kupp and Deebo Samuel both deserve MVP votes. Yes. I don't think they're going to win the award. It really has just become a quarterback award, but both.
Your top 5 NFL MVPs, in my opinion, in no particular order, are Rodgers, Taylor, Kupp, Stafford, Brady, in my opinion.
Brady and Samuel. I'm sorry.
Samuel instead of Stafford. Samuel instead of Stafford. Actually, yeah. But here's the thing. Let me just say one thing real quick.
I can't hear you. We keep talking over each other. I can't hear y'all.
Sorry. Let me just say one thing about Jimmy G and this San Francisco.
Can you hear us now?
Let me just say one thing about Jimmy G and this San Francisco 49ers team.
Got these old people can't hear shit.
You know, we want to shit on Jimmy G a lot for this performance. He had a good game. But if Jimmy G's offense wasn't, their run game wasn't good against Dallas, and if their defense didn't hold them up last week against the Packers, Jimmy G would have never even made it to the NFC Championship game. Okay, so I think we're some of us are giving Jimmy G credit, but Jimmy G fits in well with the system, but I think Trey Lance is going to do way better with this system next year.
But you got to give
it's going to be a different system because it's a different quarterback. They are going to look a lot. They're going to look a lot more like the Ravens.
But you can. But the thing is, everybody's like trashing Garoppolo. Like you saw what was happening when Garoppolo was hurt. The team wasn't winning. When Garoppolo arrived back, they started winning. So it's just like
the guy knows how to win games.
I hate to compare the 49ers to the Giants, but it's just like when we was trashing Daniel Jones until he got hurt, and we saw how bad the team really is without him.
Here's the thing I say about
Garoppolo is not trash. He's just not as good as
unfortunately,
others.
Garoppolo won't be there, but I think I have the ideal fit for him. You brought that up earlier. I think Billy did. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No.
Next year.
No.
Why do you say no?
No. Because he's not clutch. Okay, I don't care how many passing yards he threw. Interception. Hold on. That interception he threw at the end of the game was unacceptable. You're supposed to take that sack and live to play the next down. To give away the game like that is what people look at, bro. I'm sorry. That was a terrible play.
Can
I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question though? When you look at that play at the end of the game, when he was trying to avoid a sack and he did that little side throw. Now we've seen Pat Mahomes do that constantly, game in and game out.
We've seen Brett Favre make a career out of it.
Exactly.
So if he completed that pass, is that pass really was that decision really that bad? Like everybody's trying to.
I think it was. And the guy,
it was there. It just was high. But
guys, remember what the situation was. It was 3rd and 18 on their own 15-yard line, and they had one more play left. So Jimmy G wanted to avoid the sack, so it wasn't 4th and 35. Have you guys ever seen Jimmy G throw more than 40 yards in a game? No. Like in the air? No. So Jimmy G tried to get out of the way, so it was an incomplete pass. So it's 4th and 15.
No,
I don't blame him for that.
To answer Boogie's question, it's always going to be a bad decision. What you should have done is a combination of what the two of you just said. You throw it out of. You really throw it out of bounds. Get that ball out of bounds. Even if they try to make you take the intentional grounding on it, it's better than what happened. You get the ball out of bounds.
Chico, just to let you know right now, Chico, Aaron Rodgers will never be a San Francisco 49er for the simple fact that they passed up on him in the draft.
He feels away about that.
Alex Smith.
Yeah, he feels away about that.
In his interview when he got drafted, the San Francisco 49ers are going to regret never, ever drafting me. He won't go play for them.
I find he's way too spiteful of a
Deshaun Watson ain't going there.
Trey Lance is your quarterback for the next few years. Trey Lance is 100% your quarterback. You don't draft a quarterback at 3. You don't draft a quarterback at 3 and not have him be your quarterback the following year. We all knew Jimmy G's. This was his last year, no matter what. Even if he won a Super Bowl, this was Jimmy G's last year.
Chico, you see who he's saying that's going to be your next quarterback? Just know that quarterback is not going to work out because Lou is the mush. So I hope you guys do get Wilson or somebody because he just fried that poor kid's career.
No, Wilson, listen. Wilson's staying with Seattle. I'm telling Wilson. Go ahead.
Shout out to OBJ for turning the corner. You see how he's the only one that went over to Debo and say, "Yo, good game, guys." Like,
but Debo is the man, bro.
But I'm saying, like, who else went over to the guys on the bench by himself? He ran across the field to talk to him.
This was the OBJ that we had in New York.
That's my point. It is.
I'm about to say you're not being fair, bro.
That guy he's the same guy, bro. He is the same person. Only thing different about OBJ now is that he doesn't have that weight of the world on his shoulders.
Yes.
He is the same person.
He has Stafford, who's accurate, because remember, we all know Eli wasn't that accurate. You know what I'm saying? Number 2, he has an offensive line where he can actually make his moves. You know what I'm saying? And number 3, he has a star receiver on the other side. So he's not even our number 1. He was our number 1. And who was our number 2?
Victor Cruz.
Shepard or hurt Victor Cruz. Because remember, Victor Cruz was getting hurt at the time. You know what I'm saying? So we had hurt Victor Cruz and we had Shepard, who was really young.
Honestly, to me, with Beckham, it goes a little deeper than that. I think Odell Beckham finally got in the right locker room for Odell Beckham.
Oh, yeah.
He is in a veteran locker room. There are leaders there. And I think as much as he helped the Rams on the field, they helped him off the field. Guys like Stafford, Kupp, Aaron Donald, they helped him off the field to mature. Like if you saw when he got that 15-yard penalty, the unnecessary roughness, he went to get up and go at him. Cooper Kupp walked over, grabbed him by the arm. He shut right up and walked away. Like these guys, he respects them. And he never had that with the Giants because the Giants were in way too much of a transition at the time. Cleveland's locker room has been a joke for years. I think Odell Beckham needed to go to the right situation. And so far a marriage made in heaven for both.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to myself for muting Steele because he's crunching all into the microphone. Nobody can hear what Billy's saying. Billy was bringing up great points. He's being very unprofessional. I didn't take him off the screen, but I had to mute him because it was ridiculous. And when he rewatches the show, he's going to say to himself, wow.
I mean, to be fair,
I need to grow up. That's what he's going to say.
Chet eats pizza during our shows.
But you don't hear him.
Don't hear me, right?
I'm listening to the chicks' lives go away as he's interviewing.
We're all animals. Let's just face it.
Listen, I'll tell you guys right now, you won't see OBJ doing this in a freaking Rams uniform. That's for sure.
That's what I wanted to say. Poole just made a comment in the chat of following him on Instagram, and he's still the same. He's out having fun, not getting in trouble, not bothering anybody. His attitude on the field and in the locker room is what's changed and what needed to change more than anything.
Right. I agree. And you know what? I would love to see OBJ host a trophy up that he won. I would love to see it. If this was the OBJ a year after he left the Giants, I'd be like, fuck you. But I like OBJ. I just
look at the problems he had with Mayfield. Like, that's the problems he was going through when he was on the Giants.
But again, it's a locker room and a culture that allowed that, and that was about that. Like, the Browns never did anything they didn't have veteran leaders on that team. They just kept replenishing the team with young guys with that type of attitude coming up, not knowing what it was to be a pro. And that's what they did.
Let me just share something with you guys real quick. Look at that. Loop and Bill are the only ones who picked the Los Angeles Rams to go into the Super Bowl. What have I been saying since the beginning of the year? The Los Angeles Rams are going to the Super Bowl and they're going to win. Oh, look at all this red you guys have. Interesting.
Oh, I didn't know we were at the point in the show where it was the Lou pat myself on the backstage segment.
It is, Bill.
Hey, Bill, you know what part of the show it is? To take Lou off the show.
There we go.
Listen. First of all, a broke clock.
Haters gonna hate. Hey, that's why I'm wearing my Bengals jersey.
He's wearing his Bengals jersey, picking the Rams.
Ocho Taito.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Jersey's not tight.
This guy on?
The jersey's not tight.
Still, look at that. Still wears tight clothes. Please tell me, Still, that is the type of size that you will wear.
This jersey's not tight.
He had a burger this afternoon. I could see it.
This jersey's not tight. You guys are fucking crazy.
Yo, Book, as a matter of fact, it had cheese on it.
Yo, Ocho Cinco was playing. That's the last time. He bought that when Ocho Cinco was playing.
No, look, it says Chad Johnson on the back.
Oh, hold on.
That's how old this jersey is.
Oh my God. He was like 15.
Right, that's how old this jersey is.
You picked the Rams, but you have...
I was 60 pounds heavier when I bought this fucking jersey.
I'm just saying, though, why are you wearing it? That's my question.
To mush the Bengals since I'm cheering for the Rams.
Yo, Chico asked the question, was OBJ a bad team player for the Giant fans?
Yes.
When he was a Giant, yes.
I don't agree.
I enjoyed him as a player because let's think about this. Whenever people see the Giants, right, they think of the old way of football. You know, your tie, is up, and you fold your hands and you say please and yes, ma'am. You got a guy like this who put a little bit of life and youth into the team. So Listen.
No, I'm going to disagree.
We lost a lot, but I was very entertained.
I'm going to disagree with you.
Let me be entertained while I'm losing.
Victor Cruz put life and a different element into that team. Odell Beckham
because he danced to the end zone. Hold
on. So Victor Cruz put life into the organization, right?
And he was the one part that sailboat. Didn't he start that sailboating thing before the playoffs?
But the Giants cut him. He put life in the organization.
Well, he was hurt. He was hurt.
When they cut him, he wasn't the player that brought life to the organization.
You know what? They went with OBJ and they went
the 49ers once cut Joe Montana.
They had the media following OBJ in practice because he was practicing one-handers. So that's somebody that's not bringing life. Like
the New England Patriots were trading Rob Gronkowski to the Lions, and then he retired. Like
I'm
it
trying
happens.
I'm trying to understand how that has anything to do.
I don't know. It kind of lost me a little
Right.
bit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's
What does
get
that
into
mean?
a different subject
Because
now.
you're
What did that mean?
because you're saying that why would teams get rid of players if they bring so much?
The jersey's
chemistry
cutting
to a
off his
team?
oxygen. Everyone, forgive me.
Definitely, because that made no sense. Gronkowski was in the league for 75 years, and now you're talking about that. We're talking about Odell Beckham as a young person.
I think he brought energy, but he took it too far, and he became a distraction and a stale act. He
He
is
did
know
take
what
it
hurt
far.
OBJ?
He did. He
No,
did.
you want to know what hurt OBJ? The day he made that one-handed catch against the Dallas Cowboys hurt him here in New York because it was expected every single time. It was expected every single time.
No, I disagree with you on Lou. I feel like OBJ was hot until he was not. They fouled him so much, and as soon
He just said OBJ was hot, so I gotta let him chill out for a second.
Well, let's get to a
because
subject.
he knows better.
Let's get to a subject that Steele could actually understand.
And what's that subject? Chet?
His other favorite team, the New York Knickerbockers.
well, give me a break.
Yo, you finished talking about how hot OBJ is?
Yes, I am.
Hey, the Knicks won yesterday by 20.
Yeah, because the Kings stink just like
Yeah, because they beat a team worse than them. Congratulations.
Yeah, Julius Randle cost me about $250 yesterday because he didn't score over 20 points.
The one thing I can assure everyone listening to this is that New York City's schools will not close for a Knick parade this year. That weekend, or anytime soon, probably.
Yo,
At least they should suspend parking rule regulations if the Knicks win, because I mean they haven't won in my lifetime.
Exactly. So you'll never see those suspended parking rules either.
oh wait, you saw win a game? Oh,
Here's the rumor I've been hearing about your favorite player there, Mr. Steele, Mr. Randall. The team that was in town last night are very interested in him.
Okay, let him go.
Okay.
Give me DeAndre Fox. I'll take him in a heartbeat.
This is my
Fox can't shoot,
problem.
and Fox
Yeah.
is special. So you want to have another point guard who can't shoot?
Can't
Yeah,
shoot.
he's fast. He can take it to basketball. He can't shoot, bro.
This is my problem with Randall.
Steele,
I'm
the
sorry.
floor is yours.
I'll say my problem with Randall is, again, when he's playing bad, he doesn't want to talk to anybody. He's pouting. He's not available. He has a decent game, and all of a sudden he's in front of the mic again. Man, come on, man. I don't care about you anymore.
We had this conversation last week. The only thing Julius Randle was ready to accept was the paycheck.
That's it.
And I'm not going to change that opinion. But here's the thing that everybody fails to realize that wants to trade Julius Randle. This is the NBA. The only way you're trading Julius Randle is to take back somebody else's headache or bad contract. And you're not making the team better trading Julius Randle, at least not right now.
My problem with the Knicks again, I was listening to Thibodeau's.
Oh my God, here's Flex again. What is he talking
I
about?
don't know. All of a sudden we talk basketball. All of a sudden he
What
has a
is
sixth sense. and
he
he comes in.
talking about?
Nothing. Ignore him.
Good, Steele.
Thibodeau said in the presser.
Yeah, Jerome, nice sixth place Nets. Go ahead.
They were talking about in the presser that they were talking about Obi and if Obi can get more playing time. And he said in the presser with a straight face that he gets the playing time that he earns. My question to him is Randall earning playing time?
Is Fournier when he goes out there and shoots?
I know Obi
Yeah,
Toppin
right?
is earning playing time.
No, but he said
slam dunk contest.
But he said with a straight face that Obi has to earn playing time. How do you say that to a player, but yet he's watching players in front of him not playing well and getting time? Like that's totally unfair. That doesn't make any sense.
He must not like what he's doing in practice. That's the only thing I can think of.
There's a lot of
And here's another problem you're going to have. Now you're going to have Derrick Rose coming back. Okay.
That's what they need.
But that doesn't affect Obi. See, the thing about Obi,
Derrick Rose is what they need.
People are not realizing what Obi is. Obi messes up on defensive assignments. Like we look at the Flash. He can dunk really well. He gets the crowd excited. Whatever, blah blah blah. He misses a lot of open jump shots, so he's not ready as far as hitting shots yet, and he messes up with defensive assignments a lot. Like you can, if you know basketball, you see it a lot of times. He messes up, and Thibodeau is going crazy, and he's a defensive coach. So it's like little things that's keeping him on the bench. I personally think that he needs to be on the floor more so that he can learn from that.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
but I mean, there's definitely going to be ways out there for the Knicks to get better. Trading Julius Randle right now at this stage of the contract is not one of them. They're going to have to, if they want to do anything, if they want to bring the star in, it's going to have to be trading some young players, trading some draft picks, and it's going to have to be things like that. It's going to
simple.
look a lot similar to a Carmelo Anthony trade
Billy, it's
back
simple.
in the day with the young players and the draft picks. Then it's going to be a trading Julius Randle.
There's only two ways that the Knicks are getting better. It's either you're trading Randle or you're trading Fournier and giving it that contract.
Can I ask y'all a question?
You're not trading, but what do you? If you trade Randle, the other team's got to be able to fit him in. You're taking a bad
There's a lot of
contract
teams that can fit him in.
Can I ask you old dudes a question? I want to ask the old dudes a question. So you guys, watched the whole career of Patrick Ewing, correct? Now we all know the ups and downs that Patrick Ewing went through, and he supposedly was one of our greatest players in our organization, right? Now, if he lived in the era of now with social media, like how Randall's going through, we'll be having this same conversation with Patrick Ewing, who's obviously light years better than Randall. So what I'm trying to say is it's easy for us to nitpick him for being emotional and saying he can't handle New York, but Patrick Ewing didn't handle New York well either. Patrick Ewing pouted and was upset, and every time they booed him, he didn't want to talk to media. He stopped talking to the media and all that. He did all the same things that Randall did. So people want to forget, you know what I'm saying, because this is the social media era. So you old dudes, please teach me. Let me know.
No problem. Ewing took him the championship. He was probably, I would say, the top 3 of all time of a Knicks player. It's a whole different era between what it is now and what Ewing was in. It's all different.
Listen,
okay?
The same way we get on this show and we talk, we mess up or whatever, all he had to do was sit in front of the podium and say, listen, I didn't have a great game. I got to do better. That's it. Damn. You don't have to go into detail. There's nothing to go into.
Ewing.
That's how I remember Patrick Ewing.
Yeah. How about the Seattle one? We was in Seattle.
I'm a Knicks fan. Don't be disrespectful, okay?
That's Orlando. Boogie, get the Seattle one. Get the Seattle one. He was playing with Seattle.
That's Lou.
That.
That's not me. That's not
whoever.
That is Lou.
Get the Seattle one up.
Y'all are so disrespectful.
But like I said, Boogie, it's 2 different areas that they played in. Okay, you gotta remember that. Back then when Ewing was playing, okay, it was a lot of back trash that was going on with the organization and stuff like that. Okay, right now with Randall, okay, Randall is a crybaby. You can see that. Like there you go, perfect thing to show like Stephen A. Smith. He sits there and thinks he's getting everything handed to him on a silver platter. You can see that. He argues every little thing. Okay? It doesn't matter who it's with. He argues every little thing. He's not a superstar getting calls. Okay? He's not making smart decisions. Okay? I really don't see him helping teammates out.
What is that?
Okay? That's an issue. You're on a team. You're supposed to be a team player. You help your teammates.
Right.
Okay, he don't do that. He cries about every little thing. Okay.
The biggest difference between Patrick Ewing and Julius Randle was that Patrick Ewing had a successful career in New York. He didn't win a championship, but you can't look at Ewing's career and say he wasn't successful.
It was a bad career, right?
Julius Randle overachieved last year, as did the Knicks as a team, really, in general. And they banked way too much off of that. And I think, you know what? I think they even went a little cruise control in the offseason as a result of it. I think the best thing that can happen to the Knicks, and it's not going to happen till after this season, would be if they find a way to land Donovan Mitchell. And trust me when I tell you, the Jazz are not taking Julius Randle's contract for Donovan Mitchell. Don't even
say something.
Well,
they're gonna
it's
going to be, like I said, you're going to see more of a Carmelo Anthony type trade package than you're going to see. Take Julius Randle and give me your best player.
They said Donovan Mitchell. They said Donovan Mitchell is going to stick around unless he gets ousted early in the playoffs again. And then they're talking about the extension talks with Dame Lillard haven't gone anywhere. Yep. So if that doesn't pan out, that's a destination the Knicks
exactly again. But another great thing. But again, it's not going. You're not going to give. They're not going to take Julius Randle for that. They're going to want young players, draft capital, and stuff like that. They're not taking that contract and saying, here, take my, give me the guy that overachieved for a year and has been a media nightmare and I'm going to give you my best player.
But Billy, let me ask you a question. Statistically, you have a computer in front of you.
Mhm.
Is Julius Randle really having that bad of a season, or
No,
are we just comparing to
no,
last
it's
year?
I'm not saying he's
no,
having a
no,
bad season. I'm saying he overachieved last
Boogie,
year.
18.5 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 assists a game.
So the
That's
dude is
stats this
averaging
year.
almost 20 and 10, and we're killing him. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, I
this is
know.
this,
But
is, this is the part with New York media.
Hold on.
This is the
No,
New
but
York
no,
media I'm talking about.
Be honest, bro. Like
What?
he's averaging 18, but he's
18
taking
and a half.
30 bad shots. Anybody, listen, if you're on the floor and you're a professional basketball player, and you're getting the ball the majority of the time,
Yeah,
we
Boogie-
expect you to get
Thanks, Bill.
18, 18.
Boogie,
Okay,
his
I
field goal percentage is the worst
Okay.
in his career since 2015, 2016, when his first full year
you
in the
can't.
league.
You say worst of his career because the last 3 years is the first time he's been the number one guy. So you can't compare
He
his
shot
time
that.
with the
Here's
Lakers.
what he did.
And you can't
He
compare
shot
his
with
time.
with the years of Lakers. He went 43,
But he didn't
48,
shoot threes.
55, 52.
He didn't shoot threes, and he didn't get the same amount of shot attempts. So that's to say you can't
And
compare.
he's not a
the same career.
They're trying to make him into something he's not with the threes,
right.
and I think he misses.
That's hurting him.
Him specifically misses Derrick Rose more than anyone.
He does, but
Yeah.
but like I said, he's our best player. Y'all acting like he's trash. He's not trash.
No,
he's just
he's
not a number
it's
one
not-
guy.
I don't. And to
He's
be
our
honest
best
with you,
player.
I want to see them get a number one guy
Yeah,
and keep him.
they're
I don't
trying
want him to go.
They're
And I
trying to get
don't-
RJ Barrett to play as good as him. But RJ Barrett has spells. Like this past month was the best month he's had in his career stretch. But then he goes back into being 1 for 12. You know what I'm saying? Like and when RJ Barrett having an off night, he don't do nothing else.
But
When Julius Randle has an off night, he's still rebounding and assisting.
exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
But you want to know, you want to see what it is. I'm going to compare the Knicks for a second to what I was just saying a little while ago about the Cleveland Browns. They don't build the team around them. RJ Barrett is still a young kid, and there's especially without Rose, they don't have that veteran leadership on that team because they decided to make it a full team of young kids because they overachieved last year and thought they were the smartest guys in the room, and they weren't. Because to do it consistently, you need the combination of youth and leadership, and
But
the
you don't
Knicks
think-
don't have that.
But you don't think this is part of the plan? Like they don't want to jump the gun and get the
I'm
expensive veteran because they're still waiting for the right deal. You understand what I'm saying? Like
You don't
maybe
need
they're
to go.
not
You
going
don't
for a
need to go.
championship
You
this year.
don't need to go expensive. You need to make the right moves and bring in like Derrick Rose. When you first brought Derrick Rose in, it wasn't expensive. It was the right move for your team.
So
You know-
So why would you think that getting Kemba and Fournier was a bad move prior to this year?
I didn't like the Fournier move from the start, I said.
No, but say about what made you not like it prior to this year?
I liked it.
Because if you think about it, Kemba Walker, even if he plays half of the time, you knew you had Derrick Rose. So you had two veterans
That's
that
a
could
great
play half the
1-2
time.
combination to have.
That's what I'm trying to say. So Kemba Walker's not panning out, but you didn't know that, and he was for the cheap. Evan Fournier is really not that expensive, and he's definitely better than Reggie
Not that
Bullock, who
expensive.
we had last year. He's better than Reggie Bullock. We upgraded.
But
So,
you know
saying
what?
it's just
But
not
they're at
working.
the point. They're at the point.
I
with
rather have
Kemba-
Quigley than
Kemba
McBride than
Walker-
Fournier.
I like the Walker move, but they're at the point right now, especially that it's not costing a ton of money to do it. You're at the point with Fournier right now, and the play and the lackluster play. Give Cam Reddish the shot already.
True.
Yeah.
I
What do
agree.
you have to lose?
I agree.
What do
Why
have
did you
to
trade
lose
him and trade a first-round pick for?
What do you have to lose at this point?
Can I
when
say something though about that? I've actually watched Cam Reddish, and I see what the people are saying about him. His problem is his motor. Like he has the talent to do everything, but even when he's out there with the short time he was with the Knicks, or when I was watching him with Atlanta, it's like he's like lollygagging. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't put his full effort. Like for instance, when he was playing garbage
Nonchalant.
time, yeah, very nonchalant. Like when he was playing yesterday at the garbage time, right? He had a move where he drove to the basket on the left side and finished with his right hand and got his shot ate up. Why didn't he just finish with his left hand? You know what I'm saying? He's being lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like the lazy.
But these are things that can be taught, things that can be worked and improved on.
Yes.
You have nothing to lose with the way Fournier's playing lately of giving it a shot and trying to work.
He
through
should
it.
be off the
The
bench.
same thing you said about Obi Toppin before.
Yeah,
You have
listen,
nothing
Obi
to
needs to be
lose
playing.
by giving
I
these
would-
guys a chance.
I would take Fournier off the bench.
Yeah, no, I would take Fournier off the bench too. But I listen. I honestly, the way that it looks right now as a Knicks fan, I don't see Kemba being a Knick next year. I don't see Fournier being a Knick next year, and I feel like that they can probably trade those
you might
two.
see Kemba Walker
for
at the trade
something-
deadline if Rose comes back. They're going to
Right.
trade him.
I think
But
Kemba's
you can get somebody big for him. You can
I
get
think
somebody decent for him.
Kemba's more likely till next year, because if you're going to make Kemba's the type of contract, there's 1 year left on that deal, an expiring contract. That's one of the contracts that's going to go the opposite way in a Dame Lillard or a Donovan Mitchell type trade.
I got a perfect
That-
team.
that's
I
gonna
got a perfect team he should go to. Okay, and I've been saying this
The
all year.
Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, the old Geritol team
Oh, the
that can
Lakers.
use a point guard. The Lakers.
Well, he'll play the same amount of minutes the rest of them play. So I guess you're right. But let me, you know what? But I just want people to know.
Trade for Carmelo. What the heck?
Everybody's talking trade. Just know that these young guys that we're falling in love with as players, some of them are going to be in that package to go.
Oh,
So,
exactly.
Like, McBride, because Grimes almost left on the Cam Reddish trade. It's just that the Knicks finally just said, no, we don't want to trade him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was upset because I like, as you can see, I'm a fan of his. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I said to you. It's going to be more of a Carmelo Anthony type package where we lost young players in that deal.
Oh, Steele, how's Carmelo doing, by the way?
The whole team is terrible right now.
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony is the least of the Lakers' problems. I'll tell you that right now.
That's Steele's boy, Billy. That's Steele's boy. We got to bust shots about that.
But I'm going to say this. I don't think Randall should be traded at this point. I don't think it benefits the Knicks. I don't think it benefits the fans. It doesn't benefit anybody. I just want to see him turn his motor up a little bit. We was talking about motor earlier. He's looking like Cam Reddish out there. When he misses a shot, he's looking at, instead of hustling back on defense, he's looking at the referees. He's looking around. He's making these faces. He's making the Adam Gase faces on during the game. I'm like, what's going on?
And it's crazy to say this, but I mean, we just named 2 to 3 players easily. Now you really have to start asking the question: has Tom Thibodeau lost his team?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know about that.
I'm not saying he lost his team.
I'm not saying I know the answer. I'm saying that you have to ask the question.
I do, because some of his decisions are mind-boggling.
Yeah, but I don't know if he lost the team.
I'm leaving decisions out of it. I'm talking about you're talking about your star player right now. You're talking about lackluster effort. You're talking about Cam Reddish, lackluster. You know, the old Obi Toppin can't really want to play for a guy that says, "Oh, you got to earn it." When
he's been playing great.
Hold on.
Yeah, but Obi Toppin is improved though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like he's
improved.
He's like a lot of these guys improved. You know, these young guys. Quickly.
There's no doubt about it. Thibodeau has improved this team, but you know what? There comes a time where when you go through enough of this, that you start to lose it, and a new voice might be needed.
The Knicks need Alfred Payton.
You know what Tibbs needs? Tibbs needs a nice young assistant coach.
He needs a brain. That's what he needs.
That's offensive oriented. I think his offensive schemes are just not cutting it.
I knew I was gonna get removed.
That's not it. You know, something within the coaching staff does need to change. You cannot put what goes on there and all the inconsistencies on the players, because I mean, like I said, I think their offensive game plan is terrible.
It is. It's hard to watch.
Speaking of hard to watch, Brooklyn Nets are now the 6th seed at 29-20, and thank God Kyrie's back, because that team would be in a way more trouble even without Kevin Durant at the moment. So our only Brooklyn Net fan here at the moment, Mr. Chet, talk to me real quick. I know we're a little past our time, but talk to me real quick.
I'll make it plain and simple. They're not playing well. The injuries are catching up to them. Bottom line, they're not playing well at all. The young guys are playing okay, but we need Durant. We need Aldridge. You know, we need those guys to play.
Right.
We can't have them sitting around doing nothing, and that's what's hurting us. Bottom line.
You know what's really hurting the Nets? I'll tell you right now. Everybody looks at it, they got their big 3. Right. LeBron James invented the big 3 in Miami. But remember what they had. They had role players and a bench. They had probably a 9 to 10 guys solid. They had guys like Glenn Rice. They had a team there. So if somebody went down, it wasn't like the end of the world. They had the friggin' Birdman. That guy was great.
Greg Anderson, yeah.
But
Chris
they
Anderson,
had a
yeah.
team. You
Chris
watch the Nets and Durant's down again. Harden's got his period.
Yeah.
Like they lose it. The team they
do.
don't have the depth behind it.
Yeah, it's true.
They don't have enough.
That's why.
They don't have the veterans that are coming down towards the end
And
that want to go play with these guys, and they'll take the veterans minimum. Remember,
one guy is, and Nash is not playing. It's Blake Griffin.
Yeah. Remember, guys? Remember how Shaq and Kobe won their last championship together?
Yeah, Robert Ory,
guys like
Rick
Karl
Fox.
Malone.
Karl
Karl Malone took
right.
the veterans minimum to go play for the Lakers.
It's
Gary
like
Payton.
all the role players for the Nets are hurt. All
But
of
listen,
Harris.
we're talking about role players. We're talking about all this stuff. We talked about OBJ earlier and how he was hurting the Giants. Irving is hurting the Nets. Let's stop all the other
absolutely.
stuff.
He's a cancer. He is a cancer.
He's hurting them, bro. You can't.
He has hurt every organization he's been a part of.
Right. He is the reason why the
Very
Nets are not going to win. Period and point blank. That's it. It's nothing else to talk about. The team is a decent team with a bad point guard or shooting guard, whatever you want to put him as. He's not it. And you know what? I'm so happy. I know Boogie feels the same way that he's not on the Knicks because we will be pacing the floor right now.
Oh,
We'll be pacing the floor. Dolan will be carted out of here. You know what I'm saying?
The best thing that happened to us is that the two of them went to Brooklyn.
Absolutely.
For
Listen,
for sure.
Although I was super salty when they both went there. I was
At
super
first.
salty.
Listen,
At
I
first.
was iodized. I was definitely salty. I was that salty.
Believe me, this would be if this was if this was the Knicks, this would be the general manager's fault. This would be Dolan's fault. Dolan should have vaccinated
100%.
Kyrie himself. Like it'd be a whole debacle.
And it would have been Melo's fault.
Oh yeah, somebody would have blamed him.
It was definitely Melo's fault.
Yeah,
Yo,
100%.
before we go though, I'm gonna give a shout out to Boogie. I don't know if you remember this. It was about 4 years ago. We was bowling on the Wednesday night league.
Okay.
And I was throwing the ball, and you was like, "Still, every shot does not have to be solid pocket. Mixed strikes work."
They do.
So shout out. The only person ever, and he was bust. I think he went 300 on me that night.
It wasn't the first time neither.
I'm trying to give you
Hey,
props.
Boogie never shot straight against me. I know that.
But I'm saying though,
arrive back and you'll see.
I'm saying
I shot straight against you guys.
I'm giving you props. I appreciate the information.
Thank you, sir. And can I give a shout out? Can I give a shout out to the King, Hendrik Lundqvist, who got his tired, you know what I'm saying, Saturday. You know, the King. He didn't get
well deserved.
One of the best goalies in Ranger history.
Oh, yeah.
He's
one of the best goalies in NHL history.
Yeah, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Shut up. You guys haven't won a chip since '83. I don't want to. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to hear. But before we end the show, we are having a Super Bowl party at South Levittown Lanes. If you guys would love to come and hang out with us.
If you guys would like to arrive to the party with us, we'll be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, exactly right. If you'd like to arrive to the party.
Yo, Boog.
Huh?
But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have live reactions of the Super Bowl while we are while the game is going on. We will be having boxes. Though, like I said, there'll be unlimited food and drink for $50 a person. It's going to be a lot of fun.
We're gonna do the Price is Right type trivia, and losers will be taking shots. So we're gonna have the opportunity of seeing Billy and Steele and Lou and Chet get drunk all night.
Okay.
And I guarantee
guy wins one quiz.
By the way, are we getting the questions from Mr. Waters again? Is that the plan?
Yeah. We'll let him set up the questions, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna stream it. It'll be.
I guarantee Andy Reid will still be the coach of the Chiefs by the time the Super Bowl party happens.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Like I said, he got the trade voted confidence. You know what happens with that usually.
But anyways, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. We are past our hour limit. Now we have to pay the studio for being here for so long. So Boogie will cover it. Boogie will cover it.
But we're not paying because we got sponsored.
Yeah.
By 106th Street Tire and Wheel. Get your automotive stuff done at 106th Street Tire and Wheel, located in Corona, New York, 11385.
By the way, what happens to the other spots that we had? The guy who's always coming, Vok Mew, whatever he wasn't.
No, he didn't show up tonight.
I know.
The spam.
Oh yeah, dot vu.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
He showed up last week, Lou.
Oh, did he show up? Damn,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, and Lonnie was on last week too, right?
Lonnie's still here.
Lonnie's
still
here.
We had an hour and a half show, and she stayed the whole time.
She did the whole time.
85% of the show, she didn't understand what we were talking
I
about.
say we should have Lonnie at
So
the
shout out to her.
That's why Lou wore his youth medium football jersey tonight.
Hey, Boogie, is there any way we could try to get her on the stream at during the live Super Bowl?
Who, Lonnie?
Yeah.
It's up to her. I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Yo, Boog, hurry up and get off because Lou's face is getting red.
Still wants me to get off. I don't know what kind of show. I don't know what kind of show we're streaming here, but I'm just trying to do a sports show, guys. That's it.
We have some really questionable people on this show.
That's it. That's what I'm trying to do.
I need a dictionary or all something. I can't. My vocabulary is just getting smaller and smaller. I don't know what to do.
You're supposed to have a broader vernacular. But if you want me to get off for Lou, then I'm gonna remove my.
Yo, Steele, you know what?
Got to a Boogie.
You know what? Steele, you gotta stop taking those roids, man. They're fucking up your. They're fucking up them brains. Cells, brother. Fucking up them brain cells. But I thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. We will see you guys next Tuesday. We won't have a show this weekend, obviously, because the Pro Bowl, who cares about the Pro Bowl? Josh Allen doesn't even want to be a part of the Pro Bowl because he wants to relax. Don't blame the guy. So we will be going live next Tuesday and then the following Sunday for Super Bowl number 56, where the Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals and the Rams win 31-24.
We'll be back if Aaron Rodgers retires before next Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or goes to Denver.
Broadcast.
Or goes to Denver. Right. You guys have a good rest of your night. Thank you guys for tuning in. And let's go Knicks. Let's go Rams.